What's happening in the greater Philadelphia real estate market through the month of March? This is the number one question we get. I've got all the stats, I've got all the data, and I'm going to tell you what it means if you're thinking about buying or selling next. So if you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to schedule a call with our team to talk about how these market stats might affect your plans, you can do that with the link in the comments. What happened in the market through the month of March? And data never lies. So I'm going to share with you what's going on in the metro Philadelphia area through March compared to last year, and then what it means if you're thinking about making a real estate decision, whether it's selling or buying over the next 6, 12, 18 months. To give you some perspective, this is Chester, Delaware, Montgomery counties, Bucks County, the city of Philadelphia, parts of South Jersey, and northern Delaware. So we've got the whole metro area here, and obviously we know what's going on locally, township to town to city to county. We can give you all that information. All you got to do is click the link. Closed sales, they're up 2% compared to 2024 through the month of March. So sales are pretty flat so far this year. They're up a little bit. Just about 240 homes, specifically more, have closed so far this year. Median sales price is up 5.7%. This isn't the asking price. This is when it sells. So we're seeing prices have jumped up pretty substantially. Days on market is up to 19 days from 17 days last year. New pending sales are down 1.5%. So while more homes have closed, we've seen the pending sales are down a little bit. New listings are up 1%. Now, this is different from inventory. So there's more new listings that have come to the market year over year. Inventory is up 11.5%, and active listings are up 14.3%. So what does that mean? Well, active listings, there's the holdover from last year, the homes that didn't sell last year that are still on the market, and inventory is based on how long it takes for homes to sell. So knowing that your median days on market is up, there's no surprise inventory's up because it's taking a couple days longer, literally 2, for homes to sell on the median, which means there's going to be more inventory lasting on the market. So great news there in terms of active listings being up over 14% and inventory up 11.5%. Inventory still under a 2-month supply. It's at 1.83 months, meaning if nothing new came to the market, it would take less than 2 months for everything to sell. And we're seeing showings are down slightly, 6.6% year over year. In terms of mortgage rates, we're seeing rates hovering around 7% right now. They've been moving up and down a little bit with some of this economic news, as well as some of the reaction to the jobs reports and what's happened in the stock market and some other things we've talked about. For the most part, rates are hovering around 7%. They're coming in just below that right now, according to Mortgage News Daily, at 6.88, 6.9%. So what does all of this mean? If you're thinking about selling a home, I see 2 things you want to keep your eye on here. We're seeing inventory and active listings climb. They're up double-digit percentage points compared to this time last year, meaning there's going to be a little more competition for you. And knowing that there's going to be a little more competition, you may want to think about how you're pricing your property. Remember, there's 3 pricing strategies. Price low to sell way above, price it right where you think it's going to sell for, and the aspirational strategy, which is price it high and see what happens. What we know is homes are selling very close to the asking price year over year, and year to date, we're seeing homes are selling right around 100% of the asking price. It varies from county to county. In Philadelphia, it's a little less. It's closer to 96%. So homes are selling basically right around the asking price when they're priced correctly. So takeaway number 1 for sellers here is that while inventory is growing, you want to be mindful about how you're setting your asking price. It's all the more reason to get a thorough market evaluation in person at your home so someone can walk through the property, give you an on-site assessment, show you what active inventory is doing, what pending inventory is doing, and what's actually closed, so you can see what your competition looks like, which again is growing, as well as where the market's headed and where it's already been. The other key takeaway for sellers here is that prices are up and days on market is pretty flat. So prices being up means that there's great news. The prices are up year over year. Your home's worth more than it was a year ago, and it's not taking months for a property to sell. Now, this is going to vary. If you get into the premium price points, it's going to take longer. The lower price stuff tends to sell a little quicker. So we're seeing positive movement when it comes to home values, and you might be surprised what your home could actually sell for. all the more reason to get an on-site evaluation if you're thinking about it, even if you're 6, 12, 18 months out, so you can get someone to come in that's going to be a lot more accurate than one of these online valuation tools. With days on market, you want to be realistic with what the median is. A couple years ago, if homes didn't sell in a couple days, people would get a little nervous and be a little concerned. Right now, it's hovering in that 2.5 week range. So that's a good time to judge what kind of feedback are you getting? What kind of showing traffic are you getting? What's the market reaction? So you know what your time frame is. You know that prices are up and inventory's growing. So those are the key takeaways for sellers. So there's still a lot of seller-friendly things happening. As a buyer, what I'm looking at are two stats here. Again, the same two stats almost. And what we're seeing is that there's more options out there than there were a year ago. Rates are pretty much where they are. I don't see much movement happening on those. They've been relatively stable despite dancing around a little bit. So we're seeing there's more options than there were last year. And that's all the more reason as a buyer, you want to be looking and getting updated on the market daily, if not multiple times a day, from an agent that's out there searching for you. And what we're also seeing, I'm going to, again, look at that time on market, right? That time on market stat tells me that if you see something that's been on the market a few weeks, that might be an opportunity to negotiate a little bit. That might be an opportunity to get a better price or negotiate some terms that wouldn't necessarily be there for that brand new listing that's highly, highly competitive. So look at the days on market as an indicator if it's worth checking out a home. If you feel like it might be priced a little high, go look at it in a few weeks, watch it, and then maybe you can get it at a number that you feel more comfortable with. Days on market's a great indicator. So there's a couple good takeaways here. And for buyers, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a great time to buy and it's a great time to sell. What I am clear on for buyers is that prices are going up. So if you're waiting for something to happen that's going to cause prices to come down, it would have to be a significant increase in inventory getting above a 6-month supply. Remember, we're under 2 months right now. And if you wait 3, 6, 9, 12 months, the price is almost guaranteed to be higher than it will be right now. So that's what's going on in the market. You probably got a lot of questions. I threw a lot of information at you here. If you got specific questions, hit on that link in the comments and we can answer them for you.